All right, another video we may or may not post. We'll see, because we don't know what the audio is going to sound like. But Jeepers Creepers Reborn. My anticipation for this movie is low, because the third one was atrocious. Now, I'm hoping that's because Victor Salva is a piece of shit and got what he deserved by making a terrible film after he shouldn't even have been able to make a film at all. But the last one was pure dog shit and genuinely terrible, in my opinion. And now that we've got new blood, new filmmakers making this, I'm hoping... I don't know how much worse you could make it than the third one. You've not seen a single one, so this will be cool because you get a perspective from someone, you know, this is like a reboot from what I know. It might be a sequel. I don't think so. It says Reborn. I haven't read anything about it, so it might be a reboot. It might be a sequel. I'm going to assume it's a reboot. Or just completely ignoring the 2 and 3 like a lot of fucking franchises like to do now.
Sequel to the first.
Ugh, please don't do that. At least it's not just called Jeepers Creepers and then it's a sequel. That is the most annoying. And did you see that Scream 2, like the Scream sequel, Scream 6? They put it up with like Scream 2 exclamation points. Like Scream exclamation point.
No,
Like
I didn't see that.
Oh, never mind. I was just like, if you name this Scream 2, I will fucking lose my mind. Jeepers Creepers Reborn. So yeah, we get to two perspectives. Someone who's never seen it and someone who has seen all three and quite likes the first. Second one's okay. The third one, we already know. All right, let's do this. Screen Media. Every 23 years. You don't know anything about it.
Heard of the Creeper? The local legend, right? The Creeper comes back every 23 years.
Then what?
Okay, truck's the same.
Can't believe I let you drag me to this.
This is the Coachella of cosplay.
Okay, so they're gonna do this in a haunt, or is
Our Reborn Rock! On grand prizes. An escape room for 2. Creeper theme.
Come on, you two. Are you sure this is where we're supposed to be?
We'll be out there in no time.
okay.
So they're in an escape room?
I thought that's
Is
what
that what
I
she
heard.
said?
Yeah.
I mean,
What the
that
hell
song.
is that?
All right. We'll watch them. I don't know if I can sit through the third one again.
It's coming.
Production value seems fine.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
There's those eyes.
Better
There's
than the third, for sure. Production value on that is dreadful.
Come on!
I want to see the creeper to see how he looks now. We all know what he looks like, so show him to us. She's coming through the wall. There's gonna be some Friday the 13th, yeah.
He looks like,
So that
you know what
worries
he
me.
reminds me of? Because I actually don't super know what his face is supposed to look like. But he reminds me of the gunslinger in Dead by Daylight. He has the same kind of look.
I don't know that character.
He has like
much.
a cowboy. He's like a cowboy. He's like a gunslinger.
Yeah.
Like, but
It's probably based on the
spooky
creeper.
looking.
Yeah.
He might be. I know they do a lot of sort of franchises.
So the 3 days only in theater thing worries me a bit, because I only am assuming here, but in the third one they did that where it was just released for like a night or two, and it was like a special event. And when I went to mine, it was sold out, and all the showings that night were sold out, and all the showings everywhere of every friend I talked to were sold out. Because they made it an event, and it was like they only did that because they knew once word got out
That it would.
that no one was going to go see it. So they did this whole like, oh, you can only see it one night, so you better get out here. And they did that, and holy shit, they did the same thing with 3 from Hell, which I also thought was abysmal. And it seems like when they do these real limited 2-3 night release things,
Worrisome.
it's like, we don't want anyone to tell anyone how bad this movie actually is. So let's
try and make as much money
yeah, you
as
get
you
as
can
much
in,
money
like,
as you
3
can,
days.
and then you drop it on streaming like 2-3 weeks later. But you don't tell anyone you're going to drop it on streaming 2 or 3 weeks later. You just say, get to the theater, you got to see it. And all the suckers that will go to the theater will go see it. But then, you know, anyone who isn't going to go see it, who isn't excited and goes that night, you know, they have those 3 nights to go, then they're going to hear from their friends. Anyone who's kind of on the fence, they're going to be like, well, what'd you think? And they're going to be like, it's horrible. Right? And then they're like, okay. And then it drops on streaming and they're like, all right, we'll see how terrible it actually is, right? You're much more open to pressing play when it's on, you know, Netflix or something.
Sure, when it's free.
When it's free, yeah, when you're
already
paying for it. Or
for
even just renting it for like $3,
Yeah.
you're much more inclined than spending $40 at the theater to take you and your girlfriend and get some popcorn or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The trailer looks fine.
It looks fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really show a lot of the like kills or anything. It kind of cuts away, which is fine. It's a trailer. The atmosphere is cool so far. I like the it was like a cosplay haunted house, whatever. That vibe seems neat. Especially if he's like able to kind of get around because people think he's wearing a costume.
Sure.
That's
I mean, yeah, that's
scary.
the idea, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I don't know any. I mean.
This is a concept.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
This is a concept that's used heavily in the last maybe 3 to 5 years. You had a slew of like haunt movies that were based around haunts, whether it was Bloodfest, American Fright Fest, Hellfest, a lot of fests if you haven't.
Hell House,
Well, that was a little older,
Oh.
but then you got Haunt, and you've got this, and you've got House is October Build, exactly. House is October Build Part 2. So a lot of movies built around this idea of haunts, which is a good idea, right? It's the killer can blend into the crowd,
absolutely,
right?
And still
haunts
look
are
terrifying.
popular enough, and we've got an escape room in here, is I think what we heard, right? We could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure we both heard that. So.
Well, it sounded like the prize was an escape room. I'd have to re-listen to it. That's what I thought she said, was that like the prizes.
It's hard to take it all in 1 minute.
So. Escape rooms are another like really cool. I mean, it's a cool trope that's kind of coming out more because they're gaining in popularity in general in the world, and the idea that you could be in an actually dangerous escape room, like it could kill you,
right?
Is
Ups the ante.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm still very hesitant. You know, the limited release doesn't do it for me. This trailer didn't do anything that was like, oh my god, that looks awesome. It looks like a fine, generic monster creature feature type of film.
Yeah.
The only reason I have any more interest, it's funny, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I have a little more interest because it's part of a franchise that has a great entry, or really good entry, and then it's kind of also it's Achilles' heel in a way too, because it's like it's also got a couple it's got a shit sequel and a mediocre sequel. So I'm like, if it was an original thing, maybe I'd be more interested in it. But because it's part of this franchise, it has that potential to be really cool because the first one's good. So I'm like, really, like, I don't know exactly if it being part of the Jeepers Creepers franchise does anything for me or not. I think because of that, it just kind of, it's a wash. And I'm just kind of looking at the trailer as is and being like, it looks fine. Like, if I saw the trailer and I knew nothing about the Creepers franchise, or if, like, that wasn't a Jeepers Creepers film, per se, I would be like, I'll watch it. Like, I would be like, I'll check it out. If it's on, TV, I'm not going to go to fucking Flagstaff for the 3-night event. If for some reason I played here,
Sure, maybe.
I might
Yeah.
go. But yeah, I'm not driving in 2 hours to go see this thing again. I did that before. Never again. Never
You
again.
learned your lesson.
So what about you? I mean, are you...
I mean, I'm not like overly excited for it. I kind of think I feel the same way as you. Of like, I'll watch it. Like,
Yeah.
definitely don't want to go anywhere for it. But it looks fine. I just don't know anything about the Creeper. I don't know what the lore is and what the story is. So
Yeah.
I would like to watch the original at least to get a better idea.
We'll watch the
but
original for sure.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's that. So, not a ton to say on it. I think the concept is fine. I think it looks fine. Like, that's really all I got to say. It,
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to
it
add.
didn't take
actually.
it didn't take anything
It's a
away from my expectations. It didn't add anything to my expectations. It kind of just left it in the I'll watch it and see category.
Yeah.
So the trailer didn't really do anything for the film, but it also didn't take away from the film. I didn't watch it going, oh god, this looks bad. This looks as bad as the fucking last one. It looks
No, it looks
fine.
Yeah,
It looks like it's gonna be around the second one, where it was like, that was fine. It was better than the third, so it was better than the last effort, but kind of, because the films went like this, and now it's gonna go like this, right?
little mini.
It's like it's making its way back up. So hopefully the next one would be at the level of the first one, if we're gonna go in that way. That's some fucking wishful thinking. All right. Let us know what you think. Are you excited? Are you like, fuck this franchise because it's attached to a convicted pedophile? That's a whole thing you don't know anything about. So, yeah, we'll
That's
talk about that for another time. And other than that, adios.